Hello and welcome to today's show. I'm your host Molo Collins, and of course this is Sporting TV, your number one leading sports channel, and it's going to be a super Sunday pitting Chelsea and of course Arsenal, a match which will be played at Stamford Bridge. Remember that this is the first time that Maresca will be going head to head against Mikel Arteta. Coming to this match, we see that Chelsea is a team that has been on the good form compared to Arsenal coming into this match, and I'll just take a look at the log at the moment position. So it's going to be a battle between number 4 and number 5 for a team that will of course make it still remain in that top 4 spot position. So it's going to be a very interesting match, and so far Chelsea has played a number of 10 matches, winning 5 of the matches, drawing 3 of the matches, and losing 2 matches, going ahead and garnering a total of 18 points. And Arsenal on the other side has also managed to play 10 matches, winning 5, drawing 3, losing 2, also garnering 18 points. So I think that the only thing separating these two teams is goal difference, and you can see that Chelsea has scored so many goals compared to Arsenal. Well, this is English Premier League season 2024-2025 match week 11, and still at the moment Liverpool is at the head of the English Premier League log 2024-2025, having 25 points, and Manchester City is on that second position with 23 points. So the two teams, Chelsea and Arsenal, will be hoping to improve matters quickly, because at the moment the league runaway leaders Liverpool have already set the pace heading forward for this season 2024-2025, and it will be upon Maresca of course and Arteta to try and turn tables, to try and go ahead and get a title this season. Well, let's go and look at the head-to-head between these two teams, that is Chelsea and Arsenal, and we can see that Arsenal has managed to win a bigger chunk of the matches that have been played so far in this London derby, and Arsenal have won a bigger chunk of it, which is 83 wins, compared to Chelsea, which has 66 wins, and the matches have ended in a stalemate 60 times. Well, coming this match, we see that will be the very first time that Maresca will be meeting Arteta in this crucial match, and it's going to be a litmus test for both tactician, that is Maresca and Arteta. So heading this match, Maresca has an upper hand against Arteta going by form, as I just mentioned earlier. As you look at the log, as Chelsea is on top of Arsenal by goal difference. So heading this match, Arteta has a lot to ponder, because at the moment Arsenal has lost 2 matches, and the 2 matches that they have lost is against Bournemouth, and the other match that they lost was just last week when they went down by a solitary goal, which was scored by Isak. So you can see that Arteta has a lot to prove heading into this derby, and Maresca so far has really done a good job since he joined Chelsea, and numbers of course don't lie, as you can see. Well, last season the two teams managed to meet a total of 3 times, and in that season Arsenal managed to win twice, and in the first time that they met, Arsenal managed to dispatch Chelsea by 5-0, and in the other match the match ended in a stalemate of 2-2, and finally Arsenal going ahead and beating Chelsea by 3-1. So head to head, in this match, I think that Arsenal has an advantage over Chelsea in the number of matches that they've played, but Chelsea on the other side also have an advantage, because they'll be playing this match at Stamford Bridge, which is their home ground. So I think that they'll have the 12th man behind them supporting Chelsea in this London derby. So expect a cracker of a match between these two teams when they manage to meet, of course, this weekend, which will of course be on a super Sunday. Well, it's going to be an Arteta and Maresca, and tactics are really going to determine who is going to have the win in this match. Because now let's go and look at the formation. We've seen that Arteta has really tinkered a lot with the formation that he has been using, and sometimes you can see that Havertz is in that midfield and Partey dropping in that fullback position, which has not really been a good success for Arteta, going by the form that Arsenal has had. Compared to last season at this juncture, we saw that Arsenal was leading the log of the English Premier League before Manchester City overtaking Arsenal. So I think that formation is going to be really, really crucial for this match. And let's go and look at that Chelsea formation, which of course is defensive one with the 4-5-1 kind of formation, with of course Jackson at the tip of that attack, Caicedo and of course Enzo Fernandez sitting in front of that back four, and of course the likes of Mudryk, and the very red hot form called Palmer of course is going to be pulling the streaks to try and feed the likes of course Jackson, who has had a marvelous season so far, season 2024-2025, proving doubters wrong with his performances. Well, let's go and look at the home advantage. So Chelsea will be at home, and of course they know the ground, and the 12th man will be behind them. So I think that Chelsea may have a bit of a say when they play their match at of course Stamford Bridge. So of course Chelsea have only lost a paltry 2 games, and Arsenal has also lost 2 matches. So it's going to be a very close call to try and separate these 2 London sides. Well, let's go and look at the form. Heading this match, Chelsea is the most informed team, having recently beaten Noah by 8-0. And Arsenal on the other side, they were beaten by Inter Milan by a solitary goal, which was scored by Çalhanoğlu. This is an Inter Milan, of course, midfielder, and he managed to score that penalty which gave Inter Milan the much needed win. Well, let's go and look at tactics, and we've seen that Arteta has been using a 4-3-3 kind of formation, and we can see in between the sticks there's Raya, and of course he'll be partnered in the heart of defense by of course the very informed Saliba and the Brazilian Magalhães, and of course in between the flanks the other side, the left back and the right back, is going to have either Ben White and of course Timber, and in that middle of the park of course there's going to be Merino, or maybe Partey and Declan Rice doing the dirty work in that Arsenal midfield, trying to knit those passes together to try and fill the blanks, of course, moving forward to try and get the likes of Bukayo Saka and of course Kai Havertz moving forward to try and notch those goals for Arsenal. Well, let's go and look at the type of play. We've seen that these 2 teams have adopted a very different type of play. For Chelsea it's rather defensive, and for Arsenal over the years they have been known to play that tiki-taka brand of football that is passing and moving. And well, Chelsea can try and bypass that midfield by playing those long balls to try and then get the likes of Madueke. So it's very easy for Chelsea to try and bypass that midfield in those transitions, and if they may opt to go for longer balls, I think that they may try to get those pacey players, and I think that Mudryk will really fit the bill if they are going to bypass that midfield. Well, let's go and look at the players to watch, and of course let's go and start with the home team. And Chelsea, of course, they have Palmer, who has been pulling numbers since last year, since he joined Chelsea, and last season he was one of their best players, and he has just picked where he left from last season, and so far he's one of the Chelsea best players, and so far he has managed to score 4 goals in a single match this season, and that happened against when they met Wolves this season. And for Arsenal, of course, they have Bukayo Saka, whose season so far has been hampered by injuries in that Arsenal forward, and I think that Saka at the moment is not really fit, and when he's fit then you can depend on him to try and pull the strings to try and give those assists and even sometimes goals. And this Arsenal team generally has been hampered by a lot of injuries so far, and you can see that the likes of Odegaard is trying to make a comeback in that Arsenal setup so far. And when Arsenal lost Odegaard a few weeks ago, we could see that Arsenal were really struggling to create the chances moving forward, and this happened mainly against Newcastle because Arsenal had only 1 shot on target. Arsenal play moving forward, and you can see that compared to this Arsenal side and last season, and you can see that there is a very big change. But my one major concern is on Mikel Arteta, because he had a winning team, and I don't know why he has managed to do so many changes in this side. And you can see that Ben White, who was one of the best players last season, sometimes is in, sometimes is not, and the likes of Partey, he has been made to play in that fullback position, which has really weakened that Arsenal midfield, because Merino, as we speak, is yet to settle in really well in this Arsenal setup since he joined, of course, from Real Sociedad, which is a Spanish outfit. And Mikel Arteta has gone ahead and given him a lot of trust that in that midfield position, which means that Partey has to play in that fullback position. Where the likes of Merino, when fit, well, I think that Arteta is going to have an headache, not a very bad one in terms of team selection, because the depth that he has is going to try to come in handy for Arsenal moving forward, of course, this season, and the likes of Trossard, the likes of Gabriel Jesus, and of course, the likes of Kai Havertz and Raheem Sterling, who was just joined Arsenal this season, of course, from Chelsea. So I think that Sterling will not feature in this match, keeping in mind that he's still on loan, and I think that he's ineligible to try and take part in this fixture. So I think that Sterling won't even be on the bench in this match, because on paper he's still a Chelsea player, which totally rolls him out of this very important, crucial fixture between Chelsea and, of course, Arsenal. Well, it's going to be a very interesting match, so expect a match cracker, expect an end-to-end type of football, expect good football, a very pacey one for that matter between these two teams. And I think that the team that is going to drop points in this match, I think, well, they're at the moment going by what the standards that Liverpool have set so far, and Manchester City is not going to be an easy one for any of the team to drop points. But as for me, I think that in this match is going to have so many goals coming this match, and I'm beating Arsenal to go ahead and win this match against Chelsea. So also feel free to give me your views and thoughts on which team is going to win this match, and I'll be sure to sample them in our next show. And I'll be also keeping tabs on the rest of the matches that will be taking place in EPL Week 11 season 2024-2025. As for me and the rest of my crew, it's bye-bye for now. Remember to keep it Sportent TV. Till next time.